discuss. Let me be very honest with you. हम लोगों ने कोई सत्संग नहीं किया हुआ. Okay, so it is all going to be random questions for them. Okay, I have been a teacher myself. We might have discussed some pointers around it. अभी networking break में आपने देखा होगा हम लोग थोड़ा अलग वहाँ पे बात कर रहे थे. But I have a habit of giving out of syllabus questions to my students. You can ask any of my students in the management institute where I teach. So it will be all something which they are going to probably hear for the first time. Okay, so not in any particular order we will go. We'll try to make it more like a, I would say kind of a very tidbits, trivias coming on your side also as we go through this session.
So from an infrastructure point of view, if I were to specifically focus on infrastructure, what do you think is the very specific needed for handling? I know it's becoming a little generic, but we also know the fact that there are different types of data available. But any guideline on the infrastructure perspective that how exactly our infrastructure can cope up with the volume of data we are having today?
Very good and relevant question in today's scenario. Before I try to answer the question, recently I happened to see, watch a small clip of the WhatsApp University. Earlier it used to be the wealthiest person on the earth is the one who has a lot of money, lot of bank balance, lot of estates and everything. But today in this world of information technology, the wealthiest person is not the person who has a lot of money, but the person who is having lot of data, information. He is considered as the wealthiest person in this world. So coming to your question about how do you be self-sufficient in data? How do you adhere to the various aspects of information, data as an oil? According to me, right information at right time to the right person.
Okay, interesting.
That should be the relevant theme or the relevant stake for any person in the IT department and for that matter for any person in the organization. How do you make available that information to the right person whenever required without information? That brings to me an example in our previous organization. There was a big deal that was likely to be concluded. It was into several hundred thousand Ks, I can say. But the only thing was that the opposite side person, the MD of that organization, was asking, can you get me that particular email which was sent by you 7 years ago? So everybody in the IT department, including business development, everybody started searching for that piece of information. So somehow it was not available. It was deleted, it was not there on the storage, not on the cloud. So taking certain takeaways from this particular example, making available the right information at the right place is important. So how do we make that available? So for that we need to have a kind of a back-end IT infrastructure which you can get the information at the right time to the right person.
Correct.
And how do you build that? So it should be, as we were talking, was robust, as we were talking about resilient a kind of infrastructure. It should be scalable, it should be readily available, it should be secure, and it should also be proper, it should have also a proper kind of data governance strategies.
Okay.
So how do you store that, taking all this into, how do you store that in a single basket, I can say, on a single server, whether it's possible? According to me, yes, it's possible. Only thing is that, how do you define this architecture for making available this information? It should be readily available. If it is old information, it should reside somewhere else. It is frequently visited information, it should be available at the tips. So that is how you can build. This topic is very, very lengthy. But taking hints from all these points, I can say, it is possible to build this kind of resilient and scalable, soft provisioning kind of infrastructure readily available for the organization.
Okay, I think you brought a very important point. We all talk about software architecture, we talk about all those middlewares and all, but I think data architecture is one stream which is neglected. which is not given the prominence. And I think a very contextual example you gave about that email, right? It reminds me of a meme which I got a couple of days back, right? Where a person deleted the mails and the boss is asking, okay, show me that mail which I sent you. But thanks Raju sir for that. So I'll move to Atul, but before I move to Atul, I just have a question for the audience. A very interesting, I would say subjective question. We all have moved into a kind of a hybrid cloud or a cloud, completely cloud world which is there. I just wanted any one of you to share one thing of an on-prem kind of a data server which you miss in the cloud environment. Anyone would like to share that quickly? One good thing about on-prem which you miss in a cloud as a digital transformation or a data transformation. Anyone would like to share their experience? One good thing. Or you want some time to think? I can give you time to think and we can move ahead with Atul. Anyone? Yes, go ahead sir. Yes.
The physicality of it in the proximity, touching feeling.
हाँ, मतलब बच्चा मेरे सामने है तो खुशहाल है, right? बच्चा को अगर बाहर भेज दिया तो फिर प्रॉब्लम है सामान लाने को, right? वैसा. I got very. And what's your name, sir? Sorry.
Amul Fadnis.
Amul. Thanks, Amul. It's a very valid point. And by the way, others can also think about it. And as I move to Atul, and you can think. Yes, sir. Go ahead quickly. Yes.
Physical server, we can get our data when it comes to cloud. We need to pay to get our data.
तो थोड़ा permissions और आ जाता है. Okay. Fair enough.
AWS से कुछ डेटा हमें अपने पास लेना है तो we need to pay for our data उनको.
हाँ, got it. So वहाँ पे protocols. Basically, we're talking about the protocols which come in between. Okay, thanks to both of you. And what's your name? Sorry.
Yogiraj.
Yogiraj. Thanks to both of you. I think that was a very interesting thing.
One department head. And then all data was already scanned and everything was done into a digital format. The only thing that he said, ये legal का data है, ये कहीं जा नहीं सकता. I read it for the information. That's all. Cloud जमता नहीं, इधर ही रखना है. No discussion. That's all. About the data it happens.
Thanks, Avinash sir. Yeah, so Atul, a question related to this, right? I mean, always there's a, and I think what Avinash also brought out, right? Should I really go for cloud? Should I continue to be on-prem? Or should I go for a hybrid approach? And especially in the context of scalability and resiliency, right? What according to you, I know there may not be a one size or cookie-cutter solution, but some indications around what should be an approach for a transformation leader around those pointers?
Let me first answer the earlier one, right?
Yes.
So I was hearing all three conversations. So it's all about giving the control back. So when you have data in your data center, you feel that it is well within my control.
Correct.
I can do anything at any point in time. When it is with cloud, then you feel like, okay, it's miles apart. I don't have control. I have to go and reach out to XYZ people, and that's all. So that is like overall view and thought according to me. Now talking about the kind of, if you talk about transformation and what is the way forward, I definitely feel hybrid can be a great approach. Whenever we are thinking of hybrid, right, you need to also understand the kind of architecture you want to build in, right? Because you have some of the things, some of the payloads or workloads on data center, some of them on cloud, and that too all maybe various kinds of cloud. So, you need to first finalize what's your data architecture going to look like. You also need to think like, what would be your data integration layer look like, right? Because if some of the data is sitting on-prem, some of them is sitting on cloud, how the exchange of data is going to happen, right? And is that going to add some latency to it? So all those things has to be looked upon. In addition to that, you also need to see the kind of, how you have to skill or upskill your people as well, right? Because see, if you are bringing cloud, right? So people who have been working on data centers, you cannot throw away those people, right? So how you can think of reskilling those people across? So how you can train them, coach them, how you can make them, rewire into usage of new things, right? And then what can be the process orchestration which needs to be looked upon? So there are multitudes of complexity which is involved. But then as I see and as I understand, hybrid can be a great approach where whatsoever you want to have a greater control with you can have it on-prem. Whatsoever you are okay to let it go, you can always put it onto cloud. And then obviously there can be an element of elasticity, right? So since I work for a healthcare organization, and for us, some of the data are really critical and crucial, and we don't want to lose the control of them, we basically put them on our data center, and things where we have, since I take care of e-commerce solutions, so in e-commerce there's always a spike in demand. Whenever we have those spike in demands, we basically spin those those VMs or those kind of things to ensure that those demands are being taken care of. So hybrid definitely is the best approach to cater to these kind of solutions.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think that's a very nice perspective and a kind of a guidance around how one should go about it. Okay, to the question I asked, I'm taking a liberty of also giving another interesting example. Again, with due respect to the ladies, अगर ज्वेलरी घर में होगा और ज्वेलरी बैंक लॉकर में होगा, you can correlate the kind of emotions which can go through, right? I'm sure each one of us would have experienced those emotions, right? If the jewelry is at home, it is easy, right? If you have to go for a function or a marriage, it's quick. But if it is in a bank locker, तो आपको तैयार होकर पहले वहाँ पे जाना पड़ेगा या पहले लाना पड़ेगा, and then you'll have to go for a marriage. I think maybe that can be another interesting example around it. Okay, yeah, thanks Atul for that. And I think coming to you, Rahul, right? I think something which Subhash sir also brought about in his a kind of a presentation what he gave, right? Security, right? We talk about security in today's world, right? While we talk about resilience, we talk about infrastructure. There's one challenge which we face is it's no longer a perimeter-based security, what used to be earlier, right? As I think we were also discussing, my data could be scattered across the globe. It could be accessible to anyone, and I think he brought in a very important point, right information to the right person at the right time, right? But how do we get it, right? How do we enforce those security measures? It could be physical security, but beyond that, what could be those elements which could come in? So any thoughts on that?
Yes, I'm just connecting this question to Rajiv sir answered, that is the data is an oil. Again, this is in terms of the data. I'm just correlating again with my organization, with my data. So we have using large data, and that's the IP for us, entire data and entire report IP for us. So I am using this kind of security since long, and for that reason, recent post AI comes in a picture. Like we started doing it, protecting our data, protecting our users' access as well. So we implemented zero trust. So zero trust is the one of the key metrics. Instead of going for traditional VPN things, so that we can use a ZTNA network, that will be at least it's always verify the security, always verify the authentication. So that will be very useful in this certain time, so we can have entire ZTNA in place. And second thought about is that the data encryption as well as and that's again in data rest, data transit. So that should be data always should be encrypted. So if this example I'm just giving, recently we implemented the one-sided AI enabled, like we have our own LLMs as well, implemented local office, local infrastructure, local data center. So we have given a one-way direction. So all my research team is whenever they do the research on the web page, they just get the data. Okay. They cannot upload any data from my locations. So geo-fencing kind of things also we did the security. I think these are the 3-4 key parameters we need to have in security for all. Going forward, the AI it's a journey. It's not a we cannot say this it can be done in one time. It's a journey. There are a lot of things going to become. We'll have to be ready with those kind of security in place.
Great. I think you got in some very important points. Zero trust, data encryption, geo-fencing, I think. And as you said, right, future we don't know. It is very, very dynamic. We don't know how exactly it would come out to. Yeah, and that's what I thought that I'll ask Avinash sir. So imagine, sure, sir, go ahead, sorry.
I'd like to add what he said just now. Sorry to barge you.
No, it's okay, absolutely fine, yeah.
See, while you are talking about security, building up security in your IT environment, let me be very frank and honest with you. I had the opportunity to build a small IT server group, the biggest data center, engineering design center, moving the workloads to cloud, building the security measures across the time zones. What I did was a very simple measure: put your IT team in a closed room, brainstorm with them, and ask them silly questions. Silly questions in the sense, in what manner, in what way your data will be stolen from your organization. let them speak out any damn foolish ideas. And at one time, see whether those corrective security measures are there or not. For example, the biggest theft is USB. What USB preventive measures you have built in?
Correct.
So similarly, list out and then build the respective security measures. And I was also surprised. I thought that I would get only 5 or 6, 7 ideas, but I got more than 50 ideas. And out of those 50 ideas, 40 preventive measures were there in place.
Oh wow.
And we built the additional 41 to 50 security measures. What happened with that? We were quite resilient before COVID area, during the COVID area, and after the COVID area also. There were n number of attacks from neighboring countries. I will name those countries. It was Russia, it was our neighbors in the Asian thing. So n number of attacks.
Interesting.
But with the kind of security measures that we had built in, every security measure, before it happened, it was alerted to the IT team, and IT team were there in place to take corrective measures. Not a single one was able to barge in. So with this example, I am trying to say that what kind of security measures you can build in within the organization for your data. You can build a number of security measures, and with the latest concept of whatever you talk about, know before, zero trust and everything, everything is possible. But at the same time, we should not be kind of carefree kind of thing, saying that everything is there. But irrespective of whatever security measures you build in, there will be certain loopholes wherein the smart guys can enter. But it all depends on the IT department as to how you build the secure and very tight kind of security measures and protect your IT environment. Yeah, human touch is always there. That's also what I wanted to add.
Thanks, Raju sir. And I think it reminds me of an incident very recently which happened. I'm sure people would have read it. Just before the Independence Day Prime Minister's speech, yearly speech, Delhi police conducted a similar exercise, and they actually found a person could reach the Prime Minister's area in spite of all the kind of protocols in place. I think something similar what you did, right? I mean, so I think it's mapping what the security agencies are doing. In fact, I remember an IPS officer telling me that your data security has to be like what we do, right? You have to think like a criminal, and then you have to build the fences around it. Thanks Raju sir. Absolutely, it's pleasure for you to contribute. So, not that you interrupted me. Absolutely, I think it was very apt for that. Yeah, I think we have still another 5 to 5.5 minutes. So maybe Avinash sir, I mean, I'm assuming you're an astrologer. Somehow I felt that, I don't know why. So I thought that if you have a crystal ball with you, right, how do you think the future evolving, right? I mean, we're talking about AI today, its impact on scalability and resiliency, right? What next? What do you see in future? And how is it going to impact the scalability and resiliency with AI being the kind of a default new normal? So your thoughts on that, sir? And again, open for other panelists also to quickly add to that.
So first thing is that I am going to be the luckiest man where I have the crystal ball.
Okay.
I first whisper all my best wishes to him on that crystal ball so that it is get fulfilled. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay. So jokes apart, but I think this AI is going to do lot of dominance. And if you go back to the history, IT industry or the computing, digitization has always played a major role. Okay, and there are 3-4 categories that comes to my mind that is going to get heavily impacted and that will revolutionize the overall thinking process. In fact, we were talking about the data. So if you look at the current data architecture, that is going to get completely revamped with the AI. Okay, the processing speed, etc. will get completely changed, and the people have to redesign the data part. Okay, that is first thing that comes to my mind. Second is, in fact, I was reading one article wherein the AI is now also, they are developing a chip which is like very close to the human brain. Okay, and they call it some neuromorphic engineering or computing. I am not recollecting that exact word. But what essentially it means that this chip will start thinking like a human.
Okay.
Now imagine the plus point or the minuses, we will talk about it. But imagine the plus point that look at the way diagnosed especially into the health industry. Look at the way the person I am thinking as Avinash, that chip will start thinking in that fashion. Let's say I'm a doctor, but that thing, same thing process is now embedded into the computing technology. That's the another area. So typically this will again revolutionize the medical industry in terms of diagnostic, and same applies even for your drug testing. That's the second area that I feel is going to get more impacted. Third, of course, is the quantum computing. Now, quantum computing, everybody knows, it is meant for heavy processing. Now, just imagine the marriage between AI and quantum computing. What power it brings for processing. Okay, and fourth, maybe, or one more thing that comes to my mind that probably will impact is automobile industry.
Okay.
Why I'm saying that? This AI today, we have to depend on the cloud, okay, or we have to depend on to the service provider for processing. Like the way we are talking about edge computing, same is going to be edge computing for AI, wherein the processing will happen onto your local device. So your mobile gadget or your automobile industry, for example, my car will be AI enabled and it will take the decision on the fly. Today, for taking the decision and processing of that data, I have to depend on my AI provider or my cloud provider. That's where that things come. And related to that could be, once that is available locally, your latency will go away, right? Because it is processing that decision making or facts locally, and that's where the decision will happen like this. So these are the 3-4 areas that comes to my mind in future that is typically going to get revolutionized. I will not have impacted, but they will get revolutionized. There will be lot of changes, lot of things will, new things will come up. This is what I think with the help of AI.
Thanks Avinash. I think you brought in some very key industries, healthcare, automobile, I think something which impacts our day-to-day life and how the future is going to be. Okay, so I think we are almost done with the kind of questions I had. Any last comments from each one of you? Maybe just 15 seconds, okay, just 15 seconds. So maybe Atul, we can start from you. And yeah, any last comments just to conclude this?
Yeah, so as we see, right, so life basically embraces complexity and diversity. So that is so same is going to happen with technology, right? So technology is going to be complex, it will be diverse. So the challenges will be more. So how you embrace them, how you manage them, how you be a part of it, and how you can be a change leader in that. That is the key in this whole aspect. Yeah.
Thanks. Yes, sir.
So in fact, I will continue with my crystal ball. And so I do see that as going to be, this AI is going to become a really crystal ball for all of us. It is going to change the way we think today. Okay, in fact, people will be, in fact, down the line, especially in the medical industry, we will find a simulation done for the human brain, and that is going to change the way we think. That's where I will stick to my crystal ball.
Thanks, sir. Yes, Rajiv, sir. Yes. Any last comments?
See, we all know about Industry 4.0. We were talking about Industry 4.0 as the buzzword in manufacturing in various other sectors. So we are all familiar with that. Now if the buzzword is AI. So there are positive sides and there are negative sides of it. So AI is there to stay and it is going to help us in a lot better way. But at the same time, every technology has to be used with a word of caution. Saying that whether it's going to benefit me or not. So with that, I can say that yes, technology is there to stay. AI and everything, technology is there to stay. Only thing is that how do we embrace that technology? It all depends to us.
Thank you. And last but not the least, yes, Rahul.
The same thing like I mentioned earlier, that we will have to ready to accept the AI security challenges. So we'll have to build a robust system, robust infrastructure, robust everything according to to save our organization, save our industries. Thank you.
Thanks. And that, friends, brings us to the end of this panel. So Ashutosh Bhatawadekar here, once again thanking the organizers, thanking my fellow panelists for making this a very, very engaging session. Personally, I have learned a lot from them in this 40 minutes. So thanks to you, and we'll take up questions during the coffee break, and we are definitely here for the day, so we'll take up the questions then. Thanks once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.